our coffee on the porch. Today it's coffee on the deck, and I'm coming to you from the Pittsburgh area. And I am so grateful, whether you're live or on the replay, that we have this time to hang out and simply be together. I am grateful for your presence every time we hang out. So, the topic for today, if we have a topic just to kind of kick off the conversation, is about the moon. The moon and musings. Now, naturally, I'm a little bit concerned because nobody's here. Usually people come on right away. So I would sit around and I wonder, am I invisible? But instead of being overly concerned about that, I'll give it a couple of minutes to see what the heck's going on. After all, it is Friday and people have things to do. I was on one live earlier. One of my friends was not live, and I sent her a message, and I'll head over to see her community page to see what's going on. But I ended up hanging out with a gentleman who was on his walk, and I was thinking and chatting yesterday with Q and friends. Greg was there, I believe. We were talking about walking videos, and I'm thinking that I might start doing live walking this summer sometime because that would really keep me accountable. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Somebody's here. I'm grateful somebody's here live. Yay. Um, but with our walking, moon musing, it is a super new moon, starts tonight, I believe. And you might say, Julie, what the heck is a super new moon? Are you curious? A super moon of any kind is when the moon is closest to the earth. Hey, good morning, Kanro. So the moon is close. The difference for a new moon from a full moon is that we can't see the new moon because when a new moon doesn't show. And I found that really interesting because for the last few days, I've been in a really cranky mood. I will confess, sometimes I get into pretty bad moods, and I try my darndest not to show it. Um, but yeah, it's been real. And part of that bad mood, cranky mood, feeling ornery, is from not having answers that I wish I had answers to. So I'm having to be comfortable with not having answers. You know a supermoon, K and Row? Um, I actually really love supermoons. I love super full moons. They're so beautiful. When I looked it up this morning, I guess the supermoons are when they're at 226,000 miles away. And at other moons, whether they're far, they vary in distance. I know it's cranky, Julie, very cranky. Last night I went to bed cranky. And I woke up and I was still cranky. That is a rarity. Hey, Pam. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, it is a rarity for me to go to bed cranky and wake up cranky, but that was what happened. And let me tell you, it is not a happy sight. And I love that my mug matches the sky. It's such a beautiful setting. How can I be cranky when it is such a beautiful setting and I'm here with friends? I and see, this is one of the ways I get uncranky. I wanted to show you about making the visible. I said part of my crankiness is because I have answers, questions that aren't answered yet. So I'm sitting in that unknown space. But so this is what I did this morning. Um, I did some coloring. Now, this kind of a drawing is a neurographic drawing. You may have seen these, but I did it wrong on purpose because I didn't have the right supplies. And sometimes when I don't have right supplies, instead of doing something, I do nothing. Hey, Rhonda. And I'm like, Julie, you don't always need the right perfect supplies. You don't need the right perfect supplies. You can use what you have on hand. So I made this with crayons. I don't have a black Sharpie. It's not right. And yet it was exactly what I wanted to do. And I felt better having done it, just sitting there and I'm just going and I'm just coloring with my crayons and and this was really good. This was really fun. I wasn't like doing cartwheels and singing, although last night, because I was cranky, working on getting out of cranky, um, I said, okay, what did I used to do when I was a kid that made me happy? And I decided that I would sing. So I turned on I Feel the Earth Move by Carole King on her Tapestry album. It is probably my highest energy, one of my higher energy karaoke songs that I sometimes sing. I had a great time singing that song. I ca my mood was elevated for about 4 minutes, which was better than it would have been without it. So nice to see you, Mrs. Paula. Are you cranky? I hope you're not cranky. I'm getting out of my cranky. And I was going to say, going live oftentimes lifts me out of being cranky. And this morning when I was coloring my fabulous, I'm not joking. This kind of drawing is simply for mood elevation for me and for focus. You were cranky yesterday, but as I was doing this, I did this while I was watching a live stream. I went looking for Sally and she wasn't there. So instead, for the second day in a row, I watched I can't think what his channel name is, but it's something like Old Guy Hustling, and it's this guy who's walking for 365 days straight, just goes out on walks and people hang out with him while he walks, which I think is brilliant, and which I'm thinking of doing starting in July. But I have to work my way up to being that confident and courageous. I mean, I can do my morning walks, right? Take little clips and stuff, but the thought of being on camera for um however long that, it just seems like it seems like it'd be great and it would also be it would push me. So I'm considering doing that in the summer. So good to see everybody greeting each other. But anyway, I can't remember why I was showing this again. But this helped me to not be crabby because as I colored with it and watched that old guy walking, and old guy is what he called himself, not necessarily that he's older than me, I'm guessing. Um, but it was fun to watch him and to chat along with everybody who I didn't know and just colored. And then I went to Pause and Play Nola. He was doing his 20 a day bike riding. And so I just sat there and colored while uh Pause and Play Nola was riding his bicycle. And earlier when I was eating my breakfast, I watched my favorite through hiker, who's called a research traveler. I need to link to her, who is alone camping for the second night in a row. And I could tell she's a little bit sad about that. Rhonda, is Sally in here? Let me see. Oh, I can see better without my glass. Oh, Sally is here. Hi, Sally. I was just talking about how I missed your live. It's good to see you here. So, because I'm fussy, I did some coloring and I also did this. This is one of my feel better tricks. And because it's a new moon, as I started, it's a super new moon. So whether or not you believe in all this lunar stuff, what I will say is that whenever you have a set time to kind of restart or reset, I'm big on that. We do that every Monday. But the new moon is a really good time to reset. So, or so they say. To me, I like to grab onto any time. So I'm so glad that Sally popped in. So good to see you. But I like to make to-do lists instead of to-do lists. I do both actually. See, here's my to-do list from the other day. I got most of these done, and I'm working on my to-do list for today. Pretty much all I've done so far for today, and some of you will think this is awesome. Yeah, the only thing I have on my to-do list today is my water consumption. I've had 3 glasses of water. That's a good start, isn't it? This is a reminder, if you haven't drank your water yet, drink it. I'm finally tracking it because trackers motivate me. It might seem like a silly thing, but they motivate me. Um, To-do lists. So to-do list, what is that? Instead of writing down what you need to do, writing down, ta-da, I did it. So I immediately got up out of bed when I woke up this morning. I immediately got up out of bed. There was no Cooper like doing this. He was on the floor, I didn't know it, but there was no Cooper bugging me, there was no barking, there was just me like, "Okay, I'm getting up, I'm gonna start this day." I did it. I took care of the dogs right away, we came downstairs, we did our morning rituals with the dogs, and it was so good. Wow, speaking of tadas, do you see what Mrs. Paula just said? Mrs. Paula just said, "I cannot believe I'm getting 3 quarts a day on most days." That is fantastic. So 3 quarts is how many ounces? A pint is 16, so 32 is a quart? I believe 32 is a quart. Those of you who know, correct me, please. 64 is 2 quarts. Is it 4 quarts in a gallon? I totally forget all those. You had to work up to it slowly. Well, that's great. Do you feel better because of that? So I'm working on remembering my water. So, well, okay. So one of the things with my health that I don't know what's going on entirely with it, but some of the first testing from last week shows that my kidneys are not doing so great. They're not doing horribly, but they're not they're not functioning at the tip top. It's not horrible. No, please don't be overly concerned. But when I had my near death experience, my kidneys failed. They're one of my organs that said nope, nope, and I almost had to go on dialysis. I was sitting in the hospital waiting to see if I needed to go on dialysis. Sally's joking about Pam hydrating. Well, Pam, if it will help you, you can make a little tracker and color it in. Yes, this is colored in with crayons. It's crayon day for Julie because usually these neurographic drawings are supposed to be with Sharpies and they're supposed to be with pens. This is crayon. It's kind of like this is Julie cheering up kindergarten style. So I took care of the dogs. I fed each dog and I feed George first. Cooper goes outside, George eats, then George goes outside, then Cooper eats. It's a whole ritual. Sally's secret is cold water and a nice big straw. I've been thinking of using cucumber water again. I saw somebody drinking cucumber water yesterday. And I was like, "Oh, cucumber water. I really like that. Why did I stop doing that?" And that's something where if you're having a creepy, cranky mood, is to lean back into what you used to like to do, what you did before. Oh my goodness. Kay and Roe, yes, Crayola crayons from Eastern Pennsylvania. I really want to go to that. I should put that on my summer bucket list. Speaking of which, summer's coming up. Do you all have plans for summer yet? Okay, Kay and Rose say we are preparing to leave today for YouTube meetup tomorrow at Black Mushannon State Park in PA. I wonder which part of PA that is. PA is a huge state for those of you who don't know. I'm gonna look it up. I don't have my crayons with me. The crayons are in the house. This house has a kitchen island that I'm in love with. I this is my third time staying here. First time I've capitalized on that island. I love that island. Kay and Rose, Sally's curious who you're meeting up with. Um, I am using my Inkjoy pen. You might notice that matches the to-do list that I was just going over. So if you would like to, if you're cranky like some of us are today, if you want to, if you want to put in, oh, it's near State College. Oh my gosh. You know how much I love State College. I love State College. I'm kind of far from that, but yes, right now anyway. That's awesome. Um, So if you want to put into the chat something you've accomplished already today. So like Mrs. Paul could say, I flopped effectively in the recliner. You might put in something about uh I said I took the trash out. That was one of the things that I did. And believe it or not, in my head, I was like, do I really need to take the recycling to the curb? I don't need to take the recycling to the curb. To these conversations, the recycling, there's not much in there. I need to take it to the curb. Yes, yes, that would be a good idea. Really? Do I have to take? You don't have to, but it would be a good idea. I guess I would feel better if I got it done. Yes, you would do better if you got it done. Oh my goodness, Rhonda, you made it to my live today. See, 3 hours away from me here to get to that state park would mean that I would have to get there, wave, and turn around and come back because I don't like to leave the dogs for more than 6 hours. Tomorrow I'm actually going to go to Punxsutawney and meet up a friend there because when I was in Punxsutawney last weekend, it was raining, so I only got to hug. I didn't hug any Phils. I just saw 3 Phils, and I'd like to see more of the Phils. Oh, Old Dude on Trail and Darcy's Hiking Diaries. I'm gonna write Old Dude on Trail because I do follow Darcy's Hiking Diaries. I think I've come across a lot of these people because of Canro, and then through Canro, I've met other hikers, and other outdoors people there. So Yeah, it is really cool. It is really cool. And Paula rebounded for 10 minutes, and you got 1 quart of water in already. So I've had 24 ounces of water, and I feel like that's an accomplishment. So y'all are doing great with your ta-das. With this new moon, the super new moon, usually we talk about intentions on Mondays, but if you'd like to think towards this next month from new moon to new moon, if there's anything you would like to intend, this is the time to do it. So even if you're just putting it in your head, I want to increase my water intake so I can be as cool as Mrs. Paula. You know, you might want to do that. Thank you, Mrs. Paula. I like what Pam said. It's 6:45 4 a.m. there. My goodness, you're 2 hours behind. You did accomplish making it to the live, and I am grateful that you made it, Pam. I was kind of surprised to see you, so I'm really thrilled that you're here. Oh, the feral female and hiking outdoors channel will be there. I've never heard of the feral female. I'm gonna write her name down too. I'm guessing that the feral female is actually a female. Okay, that'll be fun. Yeah, Pennsylvania is so, so, so big. Um, I'm going on my way out of town. I'm leaving here fairly soon. I never like to give complete specifics, except I just said what I was doing tomorrow, but, I'm going to go back through Dubois and Brookville. Some of you may remember that when I was driving from the West Coast to the East Coast, I went through Brookville and fell in love with it, and I have a meeting on Monday in Brookville with a woman named Molly, and so that's exciting. She, in fact, sent me texts while we were doing here while we were talking here. So speaking of intentions, making more connections is always a good thing. Oh, her name is Lovey. So the feral female is named Lovey. Not scary at all. That's what could be considered a paradox. Kind of like the dueling hands that I did a minute ago with I don't want to take the trash out. Oh, but no, I don't need to take the trash out. I don't need to take that recycling. There's plenty, but you'll feel better when you take the trash out. You know, that whole conversation. She sounds scary. Feral female. Lovey. Lovey? Lovey. That's not scary at all. That does not match feral. And maybe it does. Maybe love is feral and can be feral. Yeah, I need to find these people. When I was in state college, that trip was when that trip to state college was the last time that I house sat here. And I stayed in state college because they came home in the evening and I wanted to get a head start, but I didn't want to drive too far. So I went to state college. And that's when I discovered that really cool trail that has like a whole learning setup. Makes sense. And that's where I found that that was also the Altoona trip, I believe, where I fell in love with Altoona and went to the train museum. And, so I went on a morning walk and I found this like old train station and it had like a place where they kept the corn and the grain, like a grain thing. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. I can't remember the name, but State College has really cool things. Even a cave. Yes, we should. Hi, Sally. Hi, Julie. We could do a whole live. Do a collab live with with our puppets. That'd be actually really fun. Yes, Lovey Howell. Thurston Howell the third. How many of you know ridiculous theme songs from 60s sitcoms? I can still sing the Mr. Ed theme song, but I won't. It's too early in the day for that. Yeah. Um, I just thought about Mary Tyler Moore Show. That was the 70s though, but I can still sing that one. I love that girl. And I actually made up lyrics to Bewitched, the Bewitched theme song. Bewitched was probably my favorite. Oh my goodness, so Pam's intention for today is Creative Friday, and she's going to create order out of chaos in her garden. That is fantastic. Remember, Pam, I remember you talking about this. Even if you just make chaos in one plant or one pot, that would be great. That would be more than enough. You mean this isn't enough? Do you do 'em like this? You know, you put the faces on there. It's kind of a weird angle. But yeah, I could draw a face on my hand. Do projection. There's so many ways to do it. Yes, I can do the Brady Bunch too. Later on tonight, I'm going to be on the live with Karen, and sometimes that feels like the Brady Bunch, all those squares. Yes, I was gonna say Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. The one thing about I Dream of Jeannie is they weren't married. Jeannie just lived in a bottle in the Major's house. There was something that just didn't sit right with little Julie. Little Julie was like, "This isn't." They eventually got married, but like, I don't know about this. And then the Major always had his little friend come by. I can't remember the friend's name. I did like Jeannie's setup though. I did like her bottle. I did like all the pink. I did a trivia night on Bewitched specifically or on sitcoms of our childhood. That'd be really fun. And I think both, Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie did where they had look-alike cousins, like Sabrina. Sabrina had dark hair, and of course, since I naturally have dark hair, uh, this isn't so dark, this is more red. This is actually kinda close to what I was when I was little. Some of it anyway. But I always loved the I always I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I always, really like brunette heroes. Brunette girl heroes were always, like, made me happy because, my grandmother loved all my blonde cousins, and I always felt sad because I wasn't blonde. Yes, Sabrina. Before Sabrina was a teenage witch, she or Serena. Might have been Serena, and I'm gonna have to look it up. But she had dark hair. Does dark hair make one evil? I don't think so. And yes, a hand shot they had talks remind me of lamb chops too. Major Healy. Canro comes through. I could picture Major Healy, but I couldn't remember his name. And I also really love from Bewitched Dr. Bombay. Dr. Bombay, come in right away. And Paul Lind was in that cast. And I loved Aunt Clara. Aunt Clara. So funny. Um, so I was gonna say, Pam, what got me distracted was Pam said my mom would do a puppet show with us with tissue on her fingers, one named Peter, one named Paul. This kind of puppet. I know this one looks wild. This finger looks kind of crazy because I have a band-aid on. Because of course, when I got here, I was cutting, just slicing up a tomato because tomatoes are something Julie loves eating. And I was chopping up all my veggies so I could put them all in a bowl and just chomp on veggies. It's really actually, I really like that. But I slice my finger. Their knives are extremely sharp. It's great. Great to have sharp knives, especially when your index finger comes in contact with one, so I still have a Band-Aid on there so it won't split open. Okay, so we had this thing, Pam, that I don't remember, maybe some of you do. My mom did this thing where she said, "I" it doesn't make sense now. It was like eye winker, nose chin chopper, and then some other thing. I really love that, and I do it with my granddaughter in kind of a modified version, but the chin chopper, and then you, like, go like this, and it tickles the kid, and the kid just loves it. Aunt Clara, yes. Oh, yes, the brunette on Three's Company. She wasn't quite as fetching as, the blonde. Yes, of course, the blonde's always the prettier one, usually. And the brunette often wears glasses, we ladies with glasses and dark hair, we're we're, we're the intellectual. Yeah, that's right. Unless we get older, we get ditzy. We forget stuff like Major Healy. We don't remember poor Major Healy's name, but we remember all of the crew on these other shows. So anyway, to-do list. I'm glad that you played along with the to-do list. This is a song that never ends. It goes on and on and on. Kinda like I feel the earth move. And see, this is a good example. I've often said that whenever I go live, I never end my lives I'm always happier when I'm done with my lives. Just like there will be a walking video that comes out, I believe tomorrow, where I talk about how I did not want to go on a walk yesterday. It was rainy, drizzly. I just had a good time with some friends, um, at a really fun little coffee house, and I was like, I don't want to go for a walk. Just like I didn't want to take the trash out. I don't want to go for a walk. Nobody will know if I don't go for a walk. I don't want to go for a walk. Okay, I'll go for a walk. I went for a walk, and for most of the walk, I was complaining that I was on the walk. But I'd be like, "Oh, I don't feel like walking." "Why, look at that, it's a red-winged blackbird. Did you hear the red-winged blackbird? I really don't feel like being on this walk, but look, oh, there's another trail going that way, and there's a little lake he." So actually taking the action helps to take away some of that fussiness. Oh my gosh, Beverly Hillbillies. Yes, I love the Beverly Hillbillies. Beverly Hillbillies actually remind me of Bakersfield. Because Bakersfield, we have so many people who came from, during the Dust Bowl. So this is another example of something I didn't want to do. I didn't want to make this because I didn't have the right materials, but I made it. Do I feel better? Yes. I even like showing this to you. And I'm going to gonna write there as well, because in Julia World, writing is always the missing, well, not missing, writing is the link that really brings it all together. We can quote all these lyrics from all these TV shows, but can we remember what we did, or can we remember what we had for lunch yesterday? Not that it matters what we had for lunch yesterday, although for some of us it might. Rhonda, that's so funny. Suzanne Summers. Yeah, Suzanne Summers. She made her career based on being an attractive, fit woman, didn't she? Yes. I'm doing my best to show how to live joyfully, even when I'm fussy and cranky. By the way, if you haven't liked this video yet, that'd be great if you do. One of the things I've been doing in this live is I've been trying to do my best to put reminders to myself and to others about being joyful. Is that I forgot some of my marks about reminding the replay viewers to put stuff in the comments and also to like the video and all of that. But I am just simply grateful that I've made it. Meanwhile, Paula and Rhonda are still singing. That's fabulous. But it's interesting because this morning when I was on that live, the walking live, because Sally was not live, and then watching Pause and Play Nola's, he does his daily 20 miles on the bicycle, so it's pretty long. Um, it was helpful for me to have something to do with my hands, because this coloring thing, because when I'm doing something with my hands, it keeps my brain from just cycling, cycling, cycling. When I was on my walk yesterday that I didn't want to take, it was so helpful to have my head up and to be looking at things and to be talking to the invisible people because it wasn't alive, but just being talking and sharing what I was seeing with the future people who'll see that short. Oh my gosh. Is that, do they say black gold in that song, or is that me just looking at my adult through my adult filter? Because I can see the imagery in my head of how oil looks when it comes up, just bubbles up. Black gold, Texas tea, yes. Because we actually have a whole display at the Bakersfield. There's a history museum, and they have a whole thing on black gold because Bakersfield, for those of you who don't know, really big oil producer. So if ever you're playing a trivia game and they ask, what is the largest oil producing county in California? Kern County. That's why we feel so much like Texas. This is my Mother's Day mug. It's in Spanish. Oh, yes, Granny. That's right. Granny sitting on a rocker. That's me because I get called Granny. Oh, Pam didn't have a TV. I had friends who didn't have a TV too. I don't have a TV now. They have a TV here at this house, but I don't have any idea how to use it. So I don't. So I'm Granny, And I told my daughter that being called Granny, I know some people think of us like Granny on Beverly Hillbillies. She had no recollection of Granny being a hillbilly type character. She had Granny as a hoity-toity British woman. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm so far from hoity-toity. Happy Days is a fun one. With Anson Williams was my favorite character. I don't remember the name of his character. He was good friends with not Opie, but whatever Ron Howard's character's name was. See, I don't watch it all that often. Ellie Mae loved to razzle, yes, and there was that funny, was it Nancy Culp who played the woman who worked at the bank? Okay, well, guess what, y'all? I know this has been really fun. It's been really fun for me, and I'm really grateful for all of you who came on here live. And those of you who are on replay, I'm really grateful that you're here too. I will be back live again. I think some of the other ladies may be back live at later today with Karen's live. I'm excited to do that again because if I'm still fussy in less than 12 hours, I will well, I'll be less fussy. I'm going to go to a botanical garden today. I'm very excited about that. I'm glad the weather cleared. I would have gone if it wasn't clear, but it just, the photos will be pretty. Pam loves Scott Bio. You loved Scott Bio when you were a kid? Yeah, I'm older than you, so, it was not Ron Howard, but his friend, who I think is Anson Williams. Oh, yeah, Erin Moran. Yeah, she was cute. She was brunette. So if you were brunette and a female person, a girl on TV, a woman on TV, like Mary Tyler Moore, brunette, I thought she was great. Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Disney version. I thought Belle was fantastic. Of course, Belle was brunette and she was bookish. It kind of fits, I'm sure that Belle, I don't know if Belle ever wore glasses, but I bet eventually she did, so she could fit that whole genre. Well, Rhonda, that would be great. That would be great. And it does lift up your spirits. There's something about it. I was a little bit nervous when I came on and there was nobody here for a bit because I thought, am I invisible again? And I always worry until people start to show up. Yes, yes. I will be kind to myself. I hope you'll be in the group live today, Mrs. Paula. It'll be a delight. And I'm just glad that I'm actually going to be stationary, so I'll know I'll be here. Last Friday, I thought I was going to be there, but then I was en route. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going over. I'm sorry about that. For those of us who are grumpy, do the things that will help you to ungrumpify. Keep your to-do list going. And remember, it's a new moon, so you get to start over again. You get to do a fresh reset. You can do a fresh reset every day. For some reason, I like these artificial means, like every Monday, do a reset. Oh, Rhonda. Okay, I'm going to see your grandson. Well, that's really fun. We'll miss you, though. And I hope you do go live in an hour. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. This Monday, I will not be going live at my usual time, just FYI. I'll put that on my community page because I will be traveling. So I might go live Tuesday instead. I'll figure that out today. Thanks so much and take good care. Bye now.